From the beautiful Front Wave Arena in Oceanside, California, the Major Arena Soccer League season comes to an end tonight. It's the deciding game of the Ron Newman Cup Finals between the San Diego Sockers and the Milwaukee Wave. Welcome to Grand Final night, everybody, and up into the broadcast booth here at Front Wave Arena. Alongside Tony Sanchez, Craig Elston on hand with you. The Major Arena Soccer League season began on Thanksgiving weekend. It ends tonight, a third and final game between two amazing indoor franchises, the Sockers and the Wave. And whoever wins this one, Tony, takes it all.
Absolutely, and it's been a great playoff so far this year. And it's no surprise that the finals went the distance. Each team has won on the other team's home floor, and now we have an opportunity to see which team comes out with the championship here tonight.
Well, the Sockers suffered a 7-2 loss at the hands of the Milwaukee Wave on Friday to force this third and deciding game. However, they were missing a couple of important players from that lineup, and tonight, Tony, they get their captain back.
Cesar Cerda is back in the lineup for the San Diego Sockers after serving a one-match suspension. He knows that the pressure is on tonight, and he's been able to be the person, the focal man for the Sockers on 6 consecutive wins before his one-match suspension after putting the captain's armband on.
For well over a decade, when you think about the Milwaukee Wave, you think about one man, Ian Bennett, IB26, one of the all-time legends in the sport. Not just still ticking at 42, still making a difference for Milwaukee.
A complete legend, una leyenda. The 42-year-old has come to play here in the MASL Ron Newman Cup Finals with 3 goals, 5 goals in the playoff altogether. He's a key person who is going to be looking to make very important goals tonight.
The opening kickoff is right around the bend. When we come back, Nick Ferrara on how the Sockers spent their night. Then we'll bring you the starting lineups and the opening kickoff. It's Grand Final night. It's the Ron Newman Cup. The San Diego Sockers and the Milwaukee Wave next on Golasso.
Is it normal to sweat this much? This is awful. This is a mean sweat. Quit looking at me, Susan. I know the last time I ate something planted. It's not that I don't like vegetables. Doctor, I said stuff. I can't pay for a nutritionist. Why is this always such a whole big thing?
With nutrition counseling included, staying on top of your health doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Kaiser Permanente. Healthcare that just works.
Wind 6 miles, runway 26, great, right on.
Parents, if we're on screens too much,
what about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Front Wave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members take their financial plans to the next level. Because our value and values run deep, and we'll always fight for you with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Front Wave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Front Wave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Back live at Front Wave Arena for the MASL Championship. Craig Elston, Tony Sanchez in the booth. Let's go down on the floor with Nick Ferrara.
San Diego's North County hotels were quite busy this weekend as the Milwaukee Wave gladly extended their stays an additional 3 nights to get here to this Ron Newman Championship game in Oceanside. Interestingly enough, it was the San Diego Sockers who opted to do the same thing, stay in a hotel right here in their home turf. They feel that is one of the elements that gave them the ability to get that come-from-behind overtime victory versus St. Louis Ambush and give them an opportunity at the Ron Newman Cup right here at their Front Wave Arena. We know one thing's for sure. Tonight, somebody will be checking in to the Heartbreak Hotel, and maybe somebody will get upgraded to the championship suite. Regardless, I'm requesting a late checkout now. Craig, Tony, back to you.
Well, Nick, not only staying in a hotel last night, but wearing their road uniforms tonight, the San Diego Sockers, Tony, will do anything to pretend that they're away from home sweet home.
Yeah, absolutely, and the Sockers do know that they have some added elements today, but you're facing a Milwaukee team that with each goal last game grew in confidence and now has the game that is for all the marbles. Ahora sí es para todo para el campeonato, the Ron Newman Cup.
The Milwaukee Wave are in black, highlighted in yellow. The Sockers are all in white. Milwaukee attacks in this opening quarter, right to left, San Diego left to right, and we are underway with the grand final of the Major Arena Soccer League. Either the San Diego Sockers or the Milwaukee Wave will be the champion of the league this year. It'll be whoever wins this match. Here's the 21-year-old rookie who has really changed Milwaukee's profile, Gerardo "Jerry" Perez. Don't be surprised to see him up in the attacking zone at any point, including the first quarter. Alex Steinwasser has had a big final. Down into the corner, guarded by Leonardo de Oliveira of San Diego. Out there with Ben Raymond, Mitchell Cardenas, the captain Cesar Cerda, and Luis Morales. Chris Toth, the goalkeeper for San Diego. Mario Alvarez, defender of the year, working with Andre Hain, Max Ferdinand, Alex Steinwasser, and the Golden Boot winner, Alex Saucy Sanchez. Sanchez has the ball, stepping to his right foot and working on the Sockers captain, Cerda. This one deflected out by Leo. Comes to the man who had a big game too, Cesar Correa. Had a bicycle mid-wall assist that led to the critical fourth goal to make it a two-goal game, and then put two into the empty net when the Sockers went for a sixth attacker. Perez went deep, kicked it long. Here's Jesus Pacheco running out, one of the three players back from suspension for San Diego, along with Cerda and Morales. And expect all three of them to see heavy action, but Cerda the most of all. He is the heartbeat of this team. Tony Walls, the man who got things started with Cerda. Over to Ian Bennett, who's one of the heartbeats of the league and wearing the captain's armband, the 42-year-old legend from Hamilton, Ontario. Over to Walls. Opening 2 minutes. Another big crowd here, even on a Monday night. Just 2 days after this game 3 was forced by Milwaukee's 7-2 pull-away win on Friday night's game 2.
And what we'll see is two complementing styles and a lot of new blood in terms of MASL and a lot of, I don't know, say old blood, pero veteranos, veteran players here for San Diego Sockers, like Cardenas, who just headed out of the defensive area.
The rookie, Lucas Nestus, was able to corral it. And Cesar Correa and the Wave continue possession. Working their way around Shane Butler, one of the two officials on the floor tonight. Butler in his 9th MASL final. Working with Brian Miller, who is in his first Ron Newman Cup final. Some pressure by San Diego, got the ball at least back to the keeper. Perez really well done to spring Carvalho with some room in midfield. Ricardo Carvalho then shoots it all the way over the net. And the Major Arena Soccer League is proud and happy to welcome you to this broadcast of the Ron Newman Cup final, the championship on CBS Sports Golazo Network. We're doing it courtesy of our Moda broadcast crew, working hard behind the scenes to bring the sights and sounds to you. Milton De Andrade out with Charlie Gonzalez. High pressure shown. Max Ludwig has announced his presence with a turnover forced for Milwaukee. Out to Javier Steinwasser.
What we saw in the first quarter of the last match is both teams were actually feeling themselves out. 0-0 for that first quarter, but now we see a shot blocked.
Blocked from the side by Milton De Andrade. Into the crease where Chris Toth can grab it in between his hands. Toth led the league with a 3.70 goals against average and 757 save percentage. Here's Charlie Gonzalez, injured for most of the second half of the season. Came back on March 29th after being hurt on February 15th.
You see a lot of the players that were missing right here on the floor, and something that they had to feel just helpless last match, but now have the opportunity to come back and be an important element for their team and really give everything that they have in this grand final.
Morales trying to get his shot away, had a double team around him. It was blocked by the second man on him, Ludwig. It's out to Ruggles. Sockers keep possession. Back to Serta. Surveys. And then elects for route C, which is just to pop it over the fence.
You can see the idea was there. The ball, off the ball movement by the San Diego Sockers, very crisp, very quick, but they have to be able to come back and defend because this Milwaukee team, as you see on the top of the screen, has that outlet with the goalkeeper, chooses not to, now going all the way down.
Mostafa Guy into the lineup for the first time in these playoffs, well defending on Carvalho. Leo trying to send Momo into the attack now. Guy all the way into the corner. Backheel scoop comes into Perez as we have a quick whistle. They're kicking around the official soccer ball of the Major Arena Soccer League, created by Miter. Find out more at mitre.com. 10.5 on a running first quarter clock. First of 4 15-minute quarters. Golden goal overtime if it's needed. No shootout tonight. A goal will decide one way or another this final. Pee-wee, a steal. Pressuring Alvarez. Mendez with out of the box. It's a goal! Perez was out of the box. Pee-wee forced the steal. Mendez scored the goal. And the Sockers are on the good foot. It's 1-0.
That was good persevering pressure by the San Diego Sockers. Pee-wee staying with that play. And then Mendez having the wherewithal to be able to take that shot on target. A little bit unfortunate for Wave, where Sanchez isn't able to slide and get that. That little bounce was just enough to go over the foot and put the Sockers up 1-0 here in Game 3 de la Gran Final, the grand final.
4:51, the time of goal, but this is the downside risk of Jerry Ball. The idea of, even at the beginning, in the first 5 minutes of the game, vacating your goal in the attempt, as we get an immediate almost answer. Correa, well blocked by Toth. That was a good shot, ticketed for the far post. Immediate answers from the opponent, especially at home, have been one of San Diego's most persistent negative issues all year long. So you pay in special attention to the next minute after San Diego scores.
Yeah, San Diego definitely needs to go ahead and be careful with the retaliatory attack from the opponents in quick successions here.
Could have been a handball. That's what the Sockers thought. But Max Ferdinand, the 39-year-old Haitian sensation, sends it back to Cesar Correa. Correa shoots it off the wall that was kneed away from Toth by Serta, and now it comes back to the man who can pick up the ball with his hands. Ferdinand has been a superstar in this league for 2 championship organizations, Milwaukee and Baltimore. Here's a scoop into Pereira. Jerry Perez is there this time.
And you see right there how important Cesar Cerda is, not just on the defensive end, but he's able to start that attack 1-2, and you're already on the other side and have a dangerous chance for the Sockers. And it's a matter of starting to build on that to be able to go ahead and keep scoring, keep momentum, something the Sockers had trouble with in Game 2.
Jesus Pacheco over to Drew Ruggles. Cam Will, a second-year player and aspiring debutante singer who performed halftime in Game 1. Now he's performing on the floor. Toth, look out, spins himself into a tizzy. Now Charlie's in trouble. Has the outlet Pacheco, but he's under heavy pressure. Will this get stolen away by Will? It will not for yet. And now a foul call.
Getting into some tumultuous waters there, Chris Toth, but they're able to solve it by shielding the ball with their bodies and able to get that foul. But that's something that Milwaukee has shown, that high pressure, and San Diego able to get away with that one.
Charlie to Tavoy Morgan was very badly slowed by a foot injury on Friday. Saw him in the locker room, said he was feeling much better. Let's see right now as Morgan gets pressured. He's been favoring a toe and a quad. You can see the quad route. Oh, stolen. Pacheco put out in front. Charlie! High on the Front Wave Credit Union logo. Sockers were inaccurate with their shots on Friday, and that was probably the single biggest reason why the scoreline wound up where it was. We're under 8 minutes in the first quarter. Next ball out of play will be the first media timeout of the grand final. Cardenas trying to go for Leo. Leo chests it down and is blocked out of bounds. No, stays in. Pereira was there to guard it as it came off the wall. Now stolen by Javier Steinwasser. Jumping up on the pass from Pereira and through the slide tackle. No! They'll call a foul on Cardenas. It looked like he got all ball.
Yeah, it definitely looked like he got that, especially with the ricochet off of Steinwasser. But Steinwasser doing very well in anticipating that pass, literally jumping in front of Nick Pereira, who was waiting that pass. That's something that, again, that Sockers have to be careful of, is making sure that they don't give up that ball in transition, because the midfield is very open for both teams.
Perez, nice distribution for Javier Steinwasser, and back to Alex Sanchez. He's got a powerful, precise shot. Tries to put it to use right there, just missed the inside of the left post.
Such pinpoint accuracy that Sanchez has with that foot. It's just a matter of a little bit of space for him to get that shot off.
Sanchez will send it out to Alvarez. Super Mario posting in! Mario Alvarez finds that precise measurement inside of the post, inside of the net, taking us to timeout at 8:11 of the first quarter. Both sides have scored. The grand final is off and running, and we're happy to present it to you back to Oceanside after this quick timeout on the CBS Sports Golazo Network.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Front Wave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members take their financial plans to the next level. Because our value and values run deep, and we'll always fight for you with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Front Wave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Front Wave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
San Diego Sockers concede on Mario Alvarez's third goal of the season. Taking a quick look at these teams at a glance, what brought us to here. Two teams separated by 1 point in the standings. Sockers 3-1 in the playoffs, the Wave 5-3. But as we return to action, an interesting thing to note, in all three of their playoff series, the Wave lost match 1 and won match 2. Here's Morgan. Morgan, a little space. Shot blocked by Correa. Brought down to Pacheco and Ruggles. In each of their first two series, they won match 3, but those were 15-minute games. Morgan tries to shoot through Ferdinand, who blocked the shot.
You're starting to see Morgan get a little bit more involved into this match and finding those spaces. Very well defended there. Here, Ruggles.
Ruggles one time, score! Sent in by Charlie Gonzalez. Ruggles sends it into the net, and the Sockers are back on top 2-1.
Really good give and go play here. Charlie Gonzalez gives a perfect assist, a well-balanced ball, and a first-time shot by the defender, Drew Ruggles, who also has a fantastic left foot. Sends it behind Perez to give the Sockers another lead, 2-1. Sockers themselves respond.
Drew's first to the playoffs, first to the finals. Had an assist in match 2. Has a goal here for 2-1. And the crowd is rocking. Tell you what, big kudos to the Front Wave Arena staff and to the Sockers fans and San Diego faithful for being out in big numbers tonight on a game that's on no one's schedule. Here's Perez. Deep dump into Walls, who keeps backing in, trying to send Alvarez into on goal. Shot it into traffic, but will recover and reset to Alex Steinwasser. Stolen by Serta. Serta looked up. Perez was back in net. so he didn't shoot. He says, tranquilo, cálmate, y dame la pelota. Mendez working for his left foot. That's what he wants to do, but when he's a little bit too active, he'll shoot it high and over the glass just like that. When he's on fire, he'll shoot it inside right post and cut it into the net.
Yeah, the ball gave a little bit of a bounce. He didn't take a look at it right before he struck it, and that one goes all the way. But it's, again, all these players need to go ahead and start to be those marksmen and align those sights as the game transitions here.
Cardenas lost it to Carvalho in the corner after beating him to the ball. Morales comes on support, and it's back to Javier Steinwasser. The older brother sends it back to Alex and tries to drift in on goal, but this time Cardenas reads and knocks the ball down to himself and then stumps it out for some triangle passing to try and emerge from the zone. High pressure and man marking shown by Milwaukee. Errant passes lead to trouble. Now Toth has to put himself into the play, and he's challenged by Carvalho, who loses the ball, and Leo comes over to steal it for San Diego. And then a spin by Morales, and then a nutmeg by Morales. He's got Morgan in front of him. Luis Morales stops, is bumped from behind. Morgan's got it, hip checked into the wall. Back to Morales, blocked by Javier Steinwasser. Ball stays in play. Morales spins and pinwheels it out of bounds.
And you can see why Morales is so important to this offense. He's able to create and dribble through numbers and also be involved in any sorts of rebound. There, him himself recuperating his own rebound. He's such a lightning bolt of attack. Sockers recuperate here.
Pacheco with Pee-wee. Pee-wee gets an assist in the grand final. One of those hard-working players that almost never finds his way onto the score sheet other than fouls or blocked shots. Ooh, jumping off the bench just in time was Charlie Gonzalez right there. Nick Pereira wasn't looking when he sent that pass. Here's Pacheco and Pereira. Bumped by Ferdinand. Two veterans, same year of birth, working on each other. Pereira, back and forth he goes to Ruggles. Back to Pereira. Played the geometry to protect. Double team, leaves it out. It's Pacheco to shoot. Save on the legs by Perez. Kicked by Nestus. Charlie had to measure that for a second. It's going to get back to Milwaukee's Andre Hayne. Hayne stepping out, and Ruggles. Soccer showing a lot of spark in this first quarter. 2-1, they've got the lead. Tonight, the end of the road for the MASL. Whoever wins is champ, as the series is tied 1-1. So this may seem routine if you're brand new to the sport, but what's happening tonight, as this one wanders wide, is actually, to me, both special and important, which is that they're playing a third full match, Tony, and not the knockout game. It's at expense to both clubs and to the league. They have to approve it. They did approve it. It's a big step forward to me for this league to get away from something like that determining a champion, as it has many years. Grable over to Will. Cam Will working on Ruggles. Bennett. And back to the man who scored the goal for Milwaukee. Mario Alvarez will come off. Cesar Correa comes on. Boy, that's a potent exchanging pair right there for Milwaukee. Now Walls in the corner looking for Bennett, but all they could do was roll it to Chris Toth. Go ahead.
So Milwaukee through the series has found some success in being patient and building and rotating the ball around. And for the Sockers, that's something that we didn't see from them in game 2, but that's something that we're seeing here clearly, not just in the transition, but
lovely layoff. Leo to Mendez with Momo coming. Shot to the middle, cleared Correa. Leo toe pokes it wide. Alex Steinwasser on the rebound for Milwaukee, but he spits it out in front of him, where Morgan can control, absorb contact, play on, bang his way through another pair. Correa gets a boot on it. Ball is spit backward toward Javier Steinwasser. High pressure again shown by San Diego. Minute 40 left in the first quarter. It leaves Ludwig a little bit open. Max Ludwig coming in and turning around at the yellow line back to Javier Steinwasser. As Raymond comes off the bench, it's a steal for Leo. Leo tips it out. Each time you have to check to see where's Perez. Then you come it forward with Leo. Off the wall, looking for the return shot. Correa kicks it out of bounds. This should be top of the arc, San Diego, and it shall be a dangerous set piece as we look back at this great defensive play by Cesar Correa, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, Cesar Correa has been an incredible element for Wave defensively and doing some acrobatic moves, putting his body on the line. None more important, perhaps that, because there was a moment he was coming right through the back.
Blocked, returned, score! Leonardo de Oliveira finds the loose ball from Ruggles at the top of the arc, and this time it's crossbar and in for San Diego, 3-1.
And something that the Sockers at some point in the season were very potent as those set-piece situations and being able to capitalize. You see Leonardo de Oliveira, el brasileiro, line it up, y de campanazo, crossbar in. Sockers extend 3-1. And I do believe the Sockers are very happy to see that you can convert after hitting woodwork.
It seemed like impossible. Fourth goal of the playoffs for Leo. Drew Ruggles now has a goal and an assist in the first quarter of the grand final, and the Sockers have a 2-goal lead for the second time at home in this series. Cerda sent one up the wall. He was thinking that he could maybe get Pee Wee loose 1v1 against Jerry Perez. Now, as Carvalho loses it to Mitchell Cardenas, the ball took a hop off of the side of Cardenas. It comes out on the side of Carvalho, I should say. Comes out to Cerda, and now Pacheco, who is jumped by Alvarez Sanchez, and a foul is called. For fans, again, who have not been watching, maybe jumping in brand new, Milwaukee utilizes a strategy that few other clubs do, and no one does it like them with this goalkeeper, Jerry Perez. They will, at any point, bring him up into the action and turn 5v5 into 6v5 and risk an empty net. It's already cost them a goal tonight, though. It makes me wonder what first-year head coach Marcial Leite has in terms of his risk tolerance. How much is he willing to gamble when he's already got a -1 on that strategy? At some point, you'll see it if they're behind for sure. Morales tried to make it a 3-goal deficit as he rolled and missed the back post. 16 seconds left in the first quarter. Chance for one run if they go fast for Milwaukee. Sanchez drifting and marked by Charlie Gonzalez, who's keeping the middle of the floor under protection. With 4 seconds, Alex Steinwasser doesn't know the time on the clock. Sanchez does, but Cam Will says, what are we doing, guys? Let's get a shot away. Milwaukee blinks and sees the quarter expire. A great quarter for the hosts and the MASL Shield winners, meaning the winners of the regular season. The Sockers want to win the postseason too. They're up 3-1, but second quarter run from Oceanside's Front Wave Arena is next on Golazo.
At Front Wave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
Is it normal to sweat this much? This is awful. This is a mean sweat. Quit looking at me, Susan. When was the last time I ate something planted? Except that I don't like vegetables. Doctor, I said stop. I can't pay for a nutritionist. Why is this always such a whole big thing?
With nutrition counseling included, staying on top of your health doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Kaiser Permanente. Healthcare that just works.
Please signal, runway 6 right, clear to land.
Parents, if we're on screens too much,
What about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen around can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
This is match 3 of the best of 3. Let's show you how we got here in Milwaukee. The Sockers came together for one of their best team defensive performances of the year to beat the Wave in front of a crowd of well over 4,000, 5-4 at the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. Charlie Gonzalez led the way with a goal and 2 assists. Then on Friday night, in front of the biggest crowd ever at From Wave Arena, over 5,500 fans, the Wave took a 3-2 lead, down 2-0. With 20 seconds to play in the first half. A very deceiving score that you see, but an accurate one, 7-2 Wave. Cesar Correa got 2 empty net goals. He got an assist on the 4th of 7 unanswered goals for Milwaukee after trailing 2-0 for almost the entire first half. So 3-1 at the start of the second quarter. Ain't no thing for the mighty Milwaukee Wave. We'll see what happens as the two teams switch sides. And the Sockers run right to left. Long pass forward. Leo's open. He scores! It was Toth to Morgan, who laid it off to Leo. The Wave let the play happen from all the way down the field. And that's a huge goal. 4-1.
What a wonderful pick by Toth to just roll it the length of the floor between the yellow lines. And expertly, you see Morgan knowing that everybody's expecting him to take an extra touch. First time to Leo. Leo laces it through for his brace. Great connection and a great finish.
And now leading the club with 5 playoff goals, Leonardo de Oliveira. He scored the goal against St. Louis with 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter that forced overtime, in which Nick Pereira scored the golden goal to send San Diego to the final and avoid a knockout game. Well, speaking of knockouts, that's at least an uppercut right there from San Diego to score at 16 seconds with Leo from Morgan from Toth. If it was hockey, he'd get an assist. Now Pereira, clever little nod, and it's De Andrade with a double team bracketing, and he spins through, but allowing the ball to get there. Jerry Perez picks it up and fastballs it out to Saucy Sanchez. With a sole roll and a kick back to Alvarez, the Wave initiate, running left to right, dressed in black. That highlighter yellow accent.
The dangerous thing about Wave is that they can incorporate different styles, different shapes in their attack, and they're very patient with how they do it right now. As we've mentioned, Perez isn't part of the attack, but they can definitely go over into that sort of formation. And they found success on both ways this last Friday.
What an incredible supporter section we're seeing right now, Tony. Los Brujos del 78 are running it with the Dale Dale right now, bouncing back and forth and bringing all the heat and the energy and the passion to Front Wave Arena. Here's Charlie hoping for a handball. He's not going to get it. Carvalho turns and it's blocked by Ruggles, who is electric in the opening minutes tonight. Perez under pressure. Morales got it. Cerda spins. He's up with Bennett. Cerda shovels. Morales kicked away back to Cerda. Back to Morales as the Sockers control with a 3-goal lead and looking very sharp right now.
And a mistake there by Perez, not knowing exactly the exact time to let that ball go, but the Sockers again showing that relentless pressure. Here goes Morgan.
Gets his shot away, and he rips it home. Goal! Morgan! High five! Sox are on a roll.
Tavoy Morgan proving once again why he's such a dangerous and lethal striker right there with his back to the net. He's looking for that outlet pass. You know Milwaukee has already been hit by that assist by Morgan this time. Takes it on his own. Great shot with the top of the foot. A little bit of a dip. 5-1, San Diego.
Front Wave Arena is standing and going nuts as Tavoy Morgan brings them to their feet with the Sockers' 4th straight goal in the contest. Into Walls, shovels the wall pass, knocked down. Momo keeps it away from a surging Andre Hain. Could have been 2 goals in 10 seconds. Has to be assisted. We'll figure out the assist on that one when we can. Again, we got a foul called Again, I want to emphasize, Mustafa Guy picked up ostensibly on loan from Empire Strikers. Well, I think he's a Soccer now. Strikers didn't essentially want him. He came down here. He's been hard training all year long. He's only sporadically played. When he did, he scored one big goal when he was given some playing time. But, you know, one of those guys, a practice player, somebody who's out there to keep the team sharp and keep himself sharp. He's getting his first playoff chance tonight. And I think all of his actions have been excellent so far in this game. Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to take those opportunities, not just in training, but then able to translate them in a game time, and no bigger game than this one tonight.
Leo with 2 goals already. Mendez to Perez. Wow, we haven't ever heard that. I guess some hockey fans showed up too. They're doing the goals chant. Here's Mendez. They used to do, you know, like count each goal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's all your fault. So unfair. so cruel and unfair to the Goalkeeper Society of the world. Not to be done on World Goalkeeper Day, that's for sure. Luis Morales and the Sockers. Cardenas. Long ball to Pereira. We saw so much sharpness from Milwaukee on Friday night. Tonight, that sharpness is on San Diego's side. Cerda, the stalking Panther, lays it off for Leo. Now Morgan's on. Tavoy's activated. He told us he was back in the locker room pregame. He's shown it in this first half so far. Guess who else is back? Cesar Cerda.
And having Cerda back in there just adds so many more questions to the way that Milwaukee has to defend. Cerda can attack you as he's doing right there. The off-the-ball movement is incredible. And then he's just able to also be an assist master. That's going to be a foul.
Well done by Morales to draw the foul. Oh, yeah, come on, guys. Obviously, that won't be the restart. Shane Butler setting up right there. The officials' uniforms as well as the wave provided by Capelli Sport, the official apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. You can check out their fan shop at maslsoccer.com. Here's a loose ball, spun out to Leo. Leo chips it. Good save, Perez.
And that's what Leo would do to you. You can go ahead and have him on his left foot, right foot pass, and then just a cheeky outside the foot attempt that definitely gets Perez a little bit surprised. He's trying to go ahead and catch it and maneuver it, but he does a smart thing and says, I don't want a problem with this, pops it up. It's going to be a corner kick for the Sockers.
Tony Wall is late on there right there and angry at his bench. Leo, Charlie, bouncing ball, kind of just kills all of the momentum of the play when you can't get a rolling pass across. And that's why it's all the way back here to the yellow line and to Chris Toth, who's saying, wait a second, who's changed? Where do I go? Ruggles says, I'm here. And foul called as Drew got clipped on the foot. He's going to have the quick release to Nilton de Andrade. Nilton trying to put it through. Right idea, wrong side of the post. Looking for Nick Pereira down low. Perez. And Hayne bumped into. Nilton's got the steal. Nilton on fire. Great spin. Pereira looking to get him back in. Ball all the way into the corner. Forces De Andrade back into the wave double team. And then look out. Hayne can't just hand it over by foot to Perez. And that's such all that trickiness. Got them to Steinwasser running 1v3. Steinwasser spins it to Cerda, who came from behind to take it away.
Such a patient way of defending that the Sockers have, that they wait for that little bit of a window where the player has to either choose left or right, but then you have two elements double teaming. You have to go ahead and have that pocket pick like they did right there.
Perfect twirling pass by Toth there. Steinwasser kicks it out of bounds. Otherwise, Morgan's going to be able to send a runner in right there. But that was under double team heavy pressure that Toth spun a perfectly aimed slider across the field. Not something every goalkeeper can do.
It's such an underrated part of Toth's game, just that cool, calm composure under pressure and being able
Charlie,
to pick. Ooh, watch
Tavoy,
out.
He's open. He soul rolls. Oh, he hit it off the wall and then off the leg of Javier Steinwasser. And it's back to Gonzalez. And Tavoy says, let me try again. I'm hot. Let me try again. Immediately asks for the ball.
You can tell that whenever Tavoy gets that ball, the Milwaukee defense starts to starts to get animated a little bit more, knowing that he can go ahead and change this game once again. That's going to be called no foul.
No foul. Play on. Morgan shovels it. Mendez trying to run on it. Alvarez last second intervention, and that was in the nick of time. Mendez says, let's go. Pereira says, don't worry, I'm off the wall. It's Pacheco. Pereira came racing off the bench, but there was no angle for him. Leo tried to shoot one through Cam Will right there. It's back to De Oliveira. Now looking for the cutting Mendez, who settles, shoots, and scores! And roars into the crowd in the Oceanside night as the Sockers flex their might with 5 straight and a 6-1 lead.
And what a great pass and a great reception by Mendez, knowing that that pass is going to go ahead and bounce back with some force. Instead of going to the ball, he's patient and waits for it, kills it with the left foot, and with that same foot is able to lace it through.
And the ball was kicked right to Tony Sanchez from Sebastian Mendez right there, who very kindly kicked it away. We got to go to break. We're going to stay here. Take it back, take it back. Take it all the way back as the Sockers are bursting right now. And let's talk about, once again, the return of the captain, Cesar Cerda, because as he goes, so go the Sockers. It's been true ever since the moment, March 15th, Tony, that he put that armband on when Craig Childs, who was playing his final season, the illustrious all-time Sockers scorer and 6-time champion, fell on a knee injury right on the Kaiser Permanente logo over here, ironically enough. And Cerda put on that armband for the next game. And ever since that moment until the moment he was suspended at the end of match 1, 6 consecutive wins. In those final 3 regular season games, the Sockers trailed in all 3 games. And San Diego came back from Cerda, who assisted on either the equalizer or the overtime winner, or scored the overtime winner through each of the 3 games. In the playoffs, 6 points, 8 blocked shots. He's not on the scorecard right now, Tony, but his effect on the way this team plays with its organization and energy and channeling it forward, it's just self-evident.
And you could see it here on tonight's game, how important he's already been, being a fire blanket to any sort of attack. And not only being that, but you can see how he's a general on the floor, directing his teammates to put pressure, to allow them also to be able to go ahead and attack, because they know on the back end they have the captain wearing the cape in Cesar Cerda. And he is an incredibly safe defender, but also a dangerous attacker. And so far, it's a very welcome return para el capitán.
Well, this creates for Marcio Leite, the head coach of the Wave, a true, I would say, conundrum. Because right now you've got a young man, a 21-year-old, who hasn't necessarily done anything wrong, but he's seen 6 shots go by him with almost no saves tonight. He's got to be rattled. But your one way to get back into this game is to keep him in the game and turn him into an attacking force. And I would be kind of shocked if they don't go Jerry Ball right now. What's the difference? 6-1, 9-1. You know, but 6-1, 6-4 could be everything.
And the thing about Perez is that he's able to recover very well on the back end, as this ball is still in bounds.
Toth is so clever in that you almost can imagine him in his hotel room, you know, taping out lines and working on keeping those angles. Good refeed by Hain to Carvalho, blocked by Nilton at the moment of truth right there, and then Cerda jumps up on that loose ball before Alex Sanchez could. Under 8 minutes to play in the second quarter. The Sockers team we haven't seen in these playoffs, and that, quite honestly, San Diego and Oceanside North County fans haven't seen here in months. Pereira. Momo on the overlap, shoots a ripper off the wall, and it bounced off of Sanchez, but back into Perez, not into the net.
That should give you insight on the confidence level on the attack for the San Diego Sockers. Momo is able to get in that such space, and he's able to create something that, had there been somebody in the middle a little bit more, it would have been a tap in.
This starts with Cerda jumping up in the air and perfectly heading the ball to initiate a 5-pass sequence to get to a line change while keeping the Wave defenders on the floor. And now Morgan is set up for Cardenas. He scores! He did it again! Devoy Morgan got set up deep like a basketball low post. Dishing dimes. Cardenas laying it up and in for 7-1.
And these passes that are going the length of the floor on the ground, pase a bote de la carpet. Here you have once again Morgan knowing that he can turn and shoot, but sees and recognizes Cardenas' run to his right. And Cardenas once again hitting woodwork and in for the Sockers, 7-1.
Timeout at Front Wave Arena, where the Sockers have scored 6 in a row. Does Milwaukee have an answer? Do they go to Jerry Ball? We'll find out next on Golazo.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Front Wave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members build equity and refinance with confidence. Invest in your future with a commercial real estate loan. From residential investment properties to industrial real estate, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Front Wave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Parents, if we're on screens too much,
What about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Well, it's time for Jerry Ball. There's no doubt about it. When Gerardo Perez comes forward into the attack, set an MASL record with 7 goals in the regular season as a part-time player. He's been a full-time player in these playoffs with 2 goals and an assist, and he's in the attack right now. Started at midfield on the whistle. Perez is now a 6th attacker, and the net to the east and to your screen left is empty. No team plays this more aggressively than the Milwaukee Wave, but it leads to open shot opportunities. Now Perez has to hustle back, and he does, like he just did there. But man, imagine running up and down as a goalkeeper where you're trying to keep your stamina to shoot, to block shots, and also to shoot. Perez drifts in open on the right wing with 6:17 to play in the second quarter. The Wave have no choice but to go to Jerry Ball here. This one squirted past by Sanchez, and then Raymond called for the foul on Ludwig, setting up a free kick.
And you can see the danger there because usually Jerry would have stayed in that same exact spot, but knowing that he has to come out in return, he starts his sprint all the way back to his own goal and leaves that area open. But fortunately for Wave, they get themselves a set piece and try to work this around one more time.
Every time they do this and Perez comes deep, he's almost always open, pretty much by design. And the idea is you're going to hope to recover on him in time, and if you beat one of these other guys 5v5, you've got an open net.
And the Sockers can be patient in their shape because this also means that more energy is expended in trying to find those windows and looking for a mistake. Ludwig
kicked away by Mendez, but on the run! That's a block for Cardenas, denying Sanchez. Serta couldn't control, and then it was kicked by Sanchez so hard. But it will carry him off the corner boards back to Mario Alvarez. Only thing back there to defend that was his friend were those boards and glass. That's it. Empty net. 5:14. Perez. 9 goals as a goalkeeper up when you count all competition this year. Alvarez. Perez. And back to Ludwig. Good possession here by Milwaukee. Soccer's put into essentially a penalty kill plus type defense, 6v5. Long shot, wide, Sanchez. Ludwig trying to come back. Milton trying to charge it. Again, empty net back there. If the Sockers can steal, Leo trying to sell a foul right there. Didn't work. And back they come with Perez wide open down low. Bennett trying to get there. The legend Ian Bennett. Back and forth into the corner. And Toth makes the save and catches his own rebound.
Great possession and positioning by Toth here as he looks for the long ball for Nick Pereira.
And he gets it. And then that one tipped off of Milwaukee and out of bounds. You cannot throw the ball into the goal anymore in the Major Arena Soccer League. You used to be able to, and teams in the short fields in Baltimore or Mexico would often have 4 or 5 goals throwing. But that's nothing like what Jerry Perez has done this year. He's kicking the ball in every time.
And you can see Perez already having his hands on his...
Ruggles.
Oh,
goal and 2 assists in that great pass. Pereira lets the wash go by, gets the double team and sends it out. It's that patience and tempo of the man who's 3rd all time in the MASL in points. The good steal, though, by Steinwasser sends Nestus down the floor, looking for the counterattack. Instead, Toth reads the geometry easily and captures the ball. Working down to 3.5 in the first half.
A bit of a desperation hit there. Just didn't even look to the right to see who was covering him. You see Cam Will ready to go, but he was well covered. But in those moments, Milwaukee needs to have the patience and wait for reinforcements. But you can see that there's an added element of desperation from Milwaukee to try to get something done before the half ends.
Morgan, this is still the effort of Morgan's possession that kept that passing and possession alive and led to a foul called against Milwaukee. He just had a double team around him, delay a game called on Serda or Pee Wee, but they're having a laugh about it on the bench. So that's a delay of game warning on San Diego.
Set warning on San Diego.
Oh, dissent warning. Don't you talk to me that way again. I'll show you a yellow card. That's what he said without saying it.
And a little bar of soap, too.
Better not. Long pass, Charlie, and there's Morgan again, just holding off Walls 1v1. Trying to for his own number this time, and Walls is able to make the defensive play. And then Tavoy commits a foul on Correa from behind, trying to win it back. Tavoy Morgan, just such a difference in the way he's able to move tonight compared to Friday night, Tony.
Yeah,
night and day.
It looks like he has that space, and it's not space that's being generated for him. It's space that he himself is generating by going back to what's made him such a great player in the past. Is using that physical element, making sure that he does sometimes wear those fouls, but that's part of it, because in that, when you're getting fouled, that means that the opponent is running out of options to go ahead and contain you. Haven't been able to contain him in this first 2 quarters.
Here's Andre Hain trying to find some space in the middle of attacking midfield. Works to the corner. Wall pass comes all the way out. It's Carvalho dancing. Raymond defended. Pacheco intercepted. Then Raymond comes back to win it again. And Jesus Pacheco is able to work it out of the zone. Send Mendez forward. Slide tackle of the ball by Alvarez to win it back for Milwaukee. Coming up on the MASL Ron Newman Cup Grand Final halftime show, 2 conversations with 2 legends. I'll talk to the commissioner, Keith Tozer, in a pre-taped interview, and Nick Ferrara with Craig Childs. Shot saved. Cardenas and Toth were there.
And that's almost like having an extra defender when you can have Cardenas next to your goalkeeper and Chris Toth, to have both people have that body there. It also tells you the amount of players that are up in attack for Milwaukee. It doesn't have everybody up there. You have Perez also having to go back to his net, not realizing that this team has the possession. And right now, Milwaukee needs to find something if they want to have a chance to come back with a strong second half and third quarter.
Here's Cam Will, ripped away by Nilton. Now Sockers have to get over the yellow line to shoot. Perez is way out of the net, but it's taken away, and now it's a 3v3. One-handed save. Bennett denied by Toth in the second to last minute.
A great shot here by Bennett as he finds the space, but an even better save in 2 times by Chris Toth, who calls for the timeout.
Timeout taken. We'll keep it right here and take another look at a world-class man In the beach soccer world and the indoor world, a 5-time goalkeeper of the year, Chris Toth. Tony, he was a finalist this year, having only played 9 games. Let's take another look at a previous Toth save, and that's such a tricky thing because Cardenas is right in front of you. So is that a helpful hand or is that a screen that keeps you from seeing the spin of the ball and maybe lets the ball in that you wouldn't have otherwise? It's a tough spot, but again, back to Toth. He broke his finger during the Christmas break. It was the worst present you could find in the stocking coming back from holiday. Oh, how's everything going? Well, Toth broke his finger. What? Yeah, in practice, and was out until the end of February. And Boris Pardo, who you see on the screen right now, number 27, should have his name etched in every Sockers fan's memory for what he was able to accomplish this year, Tony. Stepping in, having to play every single game, putting his body on the line, giving this team everything he had, and winning 9 games, staying within the league leaders in most of the categories throughout the year. Chris has come back. He's taken over the net. He's one of the best keepers in the world. And Boris understands. He's he's toward the end of his career now, turning 42 in the month of March. But boy, this story, if it ends with a cup, Boris Pardo, an arm of that cup is his.
Absolutely, and a lot of these Sockers players, much like Boris Pardo, have been able to do that. Step up when it's necessary, and that supporter shield wasn't for anything but for having players, rookies, veterans, step up in those opportune moments. And we saw Boris Pardo, some of his best ever in this season, and really show that leadership, not just from the bench, not just in training, but in games in real time when it mattered. So we'll see how this story ends, but it was a goalkeeping room by committee, but not necessarily because it needed to. It was a necessity, actually, because of the finger.
Jesus Pacheco and Cesar Cerda seeing pressure from the Wave. Don't quit on this game, Golazo fans. I know the score is lopsided right now, but Milwaukee has a habit of making great adjustments at halftime. And they've got that jerry ball element that could lead to fast goals that change the elements. Here's Cerda, skipping his way past Will. Cerda to the middle. Oh, trying for the backheel shot. Mustards off the hot dog for Jesus Pacheco. 22 seconds in the magic minute of the second quarter. We'll hear from head coach Phil Salvaggio down on the floor. Pereira trucks Will, who's thinking of a diss track right now as he heads back to the bench. Over 2 million downloads on Spotify for Cam Will. Check him out, Cam Will.
It was a great halftime show.
Here comes Mario Alvarez. Jerry says, I'm open. Cerda says, I'm stealing it with an open net. Here comes the long ball. It's wide with 3 seconds left. That would have been the cherry on top, to be sure, as the horn sounds to end in all Sockers first half. It's the grand final. The cup is decided tonight. And the first half was all San Diego. Honestly, a performance we haven't seen all year is here on grand final night.
Yeah, San Diego Sockers have been able to etch what they've been great at in this season into the first 2 quarters. And both offensively, defensively, there was a cohesive aspect of the San Diego Sockers that they can definitely feel. You can see the confidence from the back all the way towards the midfield in transition towards Tavoy. It's something that the San Diego Sockers, if they are in this mindset, in this mode, are almost unbeatable, but there's still a lot of time left in this grand final.
Some of the highlights of this, and long passes to Tavoy Morgan, who was getting 1v1 defended by Max Ferdinand and was able to trap, control, and move. This is what the second quarter was all about. It was really all Morgan. Morgan gets this shot away, and yes, wrong-footed there. Perez could have just been on his left foot. He would have made that save. So that's where you talk about a young man struggling. Here's Phil Salvaggio downstairs.
Coach Salvaggio, I can't imagine there's much you would change about this first half of play, but in the MASL, there's 4 quarters, which means there's 2 remaining. You know that better than anybody. How do you maintain the team's composure and prepare them to come out and execute well in the second half to get this championship here tonight?
Well, you got 30 minutes to win a championship. You should be motivated enough.
Let's talk about having some of the big numbers backing your roster tonight and the strength of the team coming out cool as a cucumber, but still having a level of focus, energy, and excitement to go 7-1 on the lead.
Yeah, you know what? We had a good rest this weekend. We acted like it was a road game, so we were all in a hotel last night, so we're having a good time right now.
You're going to have an even better time. Good luck in the second half, Coach. Tony, Craig, back to you guys.
Thank you, Nick. They just were playing Pitbull on the DJ PA. I'm on fire. Fireball. That's what just hit the wave. 7-1. Back with our Commissioner Keith Tozer interview and Nick Ferrara with Craig Childs. Please enjoy the Ron Newman Cup halftime show. It's 7-1 Sockers in the grand final.
To the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Front Wave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members grow their businesses with confidence. Whether you need a vehicle to drive your business forward or gear to get the job done, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Front Wave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Front Wave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Please hold. Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, then come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you?
So let's ditch them and go outside on safari
To hang with the coolest,
kookiest, tallest animals ever.
whoa, we can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals.
But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd.
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
With 6 miles, runway 6 right, clear to land.
Halftime on the CBS Sports Golazo Network in the grand final between the San Diego Sockers and the Milwaukee Wave. What a great time to catch up with the commissioner of the Major Arena Soccer League, Keith Tozer. And Keith, what an incredible playoff this has been.
What a season, what playoffs, what a final. So, I mean, it's been absolutely incredible. And you know what? Soon we're going to have a new champion.
When you speak about the season, an 8-team season, a tighter table, and it just felt like all the way through. You had competition, you had exciting teams, and man, you had 4 teams within 2 points at the end.
Yeah, I think it was one of the best seasons we've had so far in a long time. I mean, take San Diego Sockers, I believe 7, 8, 9 games in overtime in the regular season. I mean, that's unheard of. So you compact all this talent into 8 teams. You got great coaching, you got great players, and with that, you get great excitement.
Now, of course, that was part of a strategic decision by the league, and the league is going to push back. When you have great franchises to add, you're going to add them, and Lehigh Valley is coming in next year. Tell us about the process to bring them in.
Well, you know, in years past, we brought some teams in maybe that shouldn't have been in, and I think right now with professional standards we have, we're bringing in the right ownership group. They tick all the boxes. I mean, they got the financial ability, operational expertise. They have a hockey team. They got their own building. So when you look across the board, they're going to be a great new team for our league. And also we're trying to build pods, and that will really help the East Coast pod for sure.
You know, as a guy who used to work in the A, it just immediately came to my mind, okay, Lehigh Valley Phantoms, and now you get Lehigh Valley MASL. Is that a possible blueprint going forward of finding other AHL markets?
Well, we've been talking to some other AHL teams and ECHL teams. So we feel that, you know, when you sell a hockey ticket, you can sell a soccer ticket or vice versa. They have a lot of experience in the game. They have beautiful arenas. And at the same time, we got groups like Sacramento building their own arenas, like Phil Savaggio did here with the Sockers. I think that's the new kind of movement that we're going to see in the MASL.
And that was one thing I noticed as well, that this season, even with 4 fewer teams, actually attendance per game rose by well over 500 fans per game across the league.
Yeah, I don't think success comes by numbers. I think it comes by expertise and how good the team is and the organization. I think we finally got that mindset and it's a culture shift, and I think everybody's bought into it. I really think that indoor soccer is really at a great place. The World Cup's coming, then the Olympics are coming in a couple of years. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Well, along those lines, with the upcoming MASL League owners meetings, what do you anticipate being raised there?
Well, I think it's wonderful because we'll have Sacramento and Lehigh in there. It's kind of like a new team bringing in some rookie players. I mean, and you know it. It just brings kind of energy and a new thought process. Then you have veteran players like Ed Hale, Phil Savaggio, just to name a couple of the owners. I think coming together, I think they all have a great ability to move it forward. I think Jeff Burham, the president of the executive committee, has done a great job there. Tommy Tanner out in Utica. I think it's going to be one of the best league meetings that we've had in a long time. And like I said, I think the future of the MASL and professional indoor soccer is great.
Sure looks like it, and we've gotten this playoff to go all the way to the end. When we come back, it's our first half highlights and second half kickoff. Plus, coming up on the halftime show, a conversation with the legend Craig Childs. All that still to come on the CBS Sports Golazo Network.
And then there's the mountains are blue cold. Mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
At Front Wave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
With 6 miles, runway 6 right, right on.
Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you?
So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
It's the Ron Newman Cup Finals live from Front Wave Arena in Oceanside, California, in a match that truly means it all to both teams. The winner of tonight will be crowned the 2026 champion, someone who is no stranger to championships. In his 17 seasons as a San Diego Soccer, he's the all-time leading goal scorer in the franchise history, and more importantly than that, he is the lifeblood of what is going on here today. What an epic ride it has been, and this finale of your career on this is essentially your last game when you'll have that player in the category. But you have a lot of experience as a coach on the field with youth, and sometimes you have a lot of youth in the locker room on these teams. As the elder statesman, what has it been like throughout the course of the season? Not talking about the last week or so, but getting into this team with the inconsistencies and getting everyone on the same page, getting them to believe and understand the importance of getting here where we're at tonight.
You know, it's been a challenge going from a player to a coach. You know, you want to get out there and make an impact on the field, and you're just trying to do your best to guide the players, give them the tools and the information they need, and help them be successful on the field. And so it's been a learning curve, but listen, I'm here to help the organization any way possible, and I'm looking forward to this game. It's going to be epic.
And we all know in a championship game, tensions are running high, emotions are running on full throttle, and that was the case in Wednesday as we went to Milwaukee and we saw the San Diego Sockers go in and squeak out that victory. They had a nice lead going towards the end there, but just like that, in the MASL, anything is possible, and we witnessed that with a narrow margin of a 1-goal victory, and then tempers flared off the field. You were doing your best to calm and let cooler heads prevail. Talk about those emotions and what it was like going from that moment of thrill of that victory to turning into someone who's like, let's just get this chaos under control.
Yeah, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. You know, we lacked a little bit of focus there, and I wish in that moment we would have just gotten the group in the locker room, but you're right. Tensions are high. Everybody's so emotionally invested into these games, and you leave it all on the field. And you know, from a player standpoint, fans might be a little difficult to understand, but these guys are just giving it everything. They've got all their emotions invested into every one of these games, and it spilled over a little. It was unfortunate, but we got to regroup and kind of revamp for this game.
And let's talk about the highlight that was the first half, though. Outside of the controversy and consequence, some players that weren't normally in the spotlight throughout the course of the season, including Sean Callahan, who rarely saw the field this season, but came in and scored a massive goal. Ben Raymond, obviously doing his job on the defensive side, able to score a goal. A 2-goal victory, which is a great start early in that second half. Talk about the importance of everybody on this roster and their ability to adapt, and when their number is called, to play that role.
Yeah, you know, Sean's been around the organization for a decade, and we knew in a big game where we needed to keep possession of the ball, he's one of the best players in the team, and Ben adds a lot. You know, Ben was hurt in the beginning of the year, but having him back up top running and playing some defense has been critical for us. He has a lot of experience, and we just got to make sure we get the details right, keep our head in the game, and stay focused, and I feel like we've got the group tonight to win the game.
And speaking of that group, some big names coming back into the lineup. As a former captain, you're no stranger to it, the importance of Cesar Cerda, as well as all the players that will be returning tonight. But the reality is, in tonight's game, there's no second chance. This is it no matter what happens. What has the mentality been like amongst the team as they head in just moments away from what will be the biggest games of their professional lives?
You know, it's punch or be punched. We're going to come out here and we're going to take it to Milwaukee. We know it's a home game in front of our crowd. We got a good crowd coming in to watch the show, and we're going to take this as a prize fight. You know, we got to get out here and we got to dominate the tempo in the beginning and be the aggressors. And so we're going to come out and do what we got to do in front of our home fans.
And as we go on that retrospective journey, you put your career into so many different elements, including family and everything else. But here in this culmination of your 17th season, what would it be like for you to be crowned one more time in this new house, it is Front Wave Arena, as the Ron Newman Cup champions?
It'd be beyond special to, you know, ride off into the sunset with the cup, and I'm hoping the boys can do it for me.
Let's see if the boys can get it done. You heard it from Craig Childs. We'll be back with first half highlights and the second half right after this.
To the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Front Wave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members grow their businesses with confidence. Whether you need a vehicle to drive your business forward or gear to get the job done, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Front Wave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Front Wave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you?
So let's ditch them and go outside on safari
To hang with the coolest,
kookiest, tallest animals ever.
whoa, we can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals.
But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Is it normal to sweat this much? This is awful. This is a mean sweat. Quit looking at me, Susan. When was the last time I ate something planted? It's not that I don't like vegetables. Doctor, I said stuff. I can't pay for a nutritionist. Why is this always such a whole big thing?
With nutrition counseling included, staying on top of your health doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Kaiser Permanente, healthcare that just works.
With the call from the 6th grade, we're on.
And we are back here at Front Wave Arena, where the Sockers are leading the Milwaukee Wave 7-1. And we got the highlights from the first half.
And it started with pressure to defeat Jerry Ball. Such a critical moment in the grand final as Sebastian Mendez and Pee Wee Ortega combined. Milwaukee got the answer. Their only goal of the half, inch perfect by Mario Alvarez, the defender of the year, to beat Chris Toth. But then Charlie Gonzalez spotting Drew Ruggles for a one-time shot, beating Perez back in front, 2-1. Start of a run for San Diego. And then at the end of the first quarter, Ruggles returned pass to Leonardo de Oliveira for the crashing crossbar strike. That was 3-1. San Diego put 4 more in the net in the second quarter and lead 7-1. And already, Gerardo Perez indicates he's coming forward to start the second half. As the Wave dressed in black run right to left, and the Sockers dressed in white run left to right and attack an empty net.
You see Leo trying to turn around and look up because he knows Perez is out of net, but what makes it so difficult is that everybody's on high alert to be able to defend that. Here, Leo trying to get this through ball.
Finds it, back heels it, hoping someone was trailing him. Andre Hain was, but he passed it back to Leo, who turns, shoots, looks for his hat trick. Shot it just wide. Gerardo Perez, a shell-shocked rookie in the first half. Things kind of unraveled when San Diego scored 16 seconds into the second quarter, turning a 3-1 game into 4-1. It became 7-1 by the time the 8:05 mark had elapsed. Now a quick foul here. Since then, the Wave have gone into Jerry Ball. And one thing about Jerry Ball, if they execute it, Milwaukee will have possession because they've got an extra man on the attack. Carvalho shoots high over Toth's gloves. And the rebound out to Alvarez. It's hard to get your foot on the ball and pressure. Perez is open, hits it off the seam. It comes to Sanchez, who kicks it back to the back post on a wall pass. Knocked away from behind by Andre Hain, and back to the Wave.
And the way this style of attack works is that if you have a shot that's too hard and it rebounds, you give the opponents an opportunity, in this case the San Diego Sockers, to come back and score on an empty netter. And that's what you have to be careful with if you're Milwaukee.
Carvalho. They want to hold the ball for a few minutes here and just tire out some of San Diego's key defenders. Then they want goals in a flurry. And if they can get that and get to within 3 by the 4th, they can be in good shape to make a comeback. So while in most soccer scenarios on everything else you watch on CBS Sports Golazo Network, this game would be over, done, dusted, move on. No, there's still absolutely a path here for Milwaukee. It's Bennett. But Chris Toth is there. And in these moments, this is where Perez has to run all the way down the field. There he goes. He just got to the crease now.
And that's definitely going to expend that energy that's going to be vital to make sure that Milwaukee stops the bleeding. And here on a one-time, Mendez gives it up. And once again, recycling the ball through Perez. As we know, he's going to make his movement all the way up.
Sanchez. Soul rolling his way up the north wall. Huge crowd on a Monday night for the last match of the Major Arena Soccer League season. What a season it's been. Carvalho gets to line this up. The shot is saved. Cerda was there to chip it down the floor. Now, obviously not enough steam to get it past Alvarez and into the net. But again, this forces Perez to run. Now the Sockers get the ball on their toe.
And the Sockers can implement that same sort of mentality that they need to keep possession of the ball, pass the ball, and extend this defensive line by Milwaukee, because in those shifts you can get yourself an error and a mistake. You can counterattack and capitalize on those simple openings. Drew Ruggles here.
It was for a second a 2v1, but the Wave have gotten back. Speaking of getting back, the legend Art Kramer on the Wave broadcasts calls these guys on the floor right now the Get It Back team. The Steinwashers together, Alex and Javier. Tony Walls, he chested it, he got it back. Now they'll change out for the Get It In team, the goal scorers. Of course, one critical goal scorer isn't there, Tony, and that's Oscar Flores. And what a shame it is that Flores, the MASL Newcomer of the Year, suffered a quad injury during warm-ups here before match 2 that has kept him out of all the action in San Diego. He had 4 assists. In match 1, he literally assisted on every Wave goal. So while it didn't feel like they missed him at all on Friday, I think you really miss him in a game like this.
Yeah, Wave need that dynamic force in order to go ahead and start creating and start being nuanced there for San Diego. But with that, it hasn't been able to work without him here in Game 3. But Milwaukee needs to find a way to have success here.
Carvalho with his wrist heavily wrapped. Over to Sanchez. Alvarez. Down into the corner at Sanchez, and he was looking for the far post, and then the redistribution by Perez, and then Sanchez shoots it high and out of play. Don't forget, you can check out the very latest on the MASL on YouTube by subscribing to MASL TV. That's where you'll find all of the clubs, or all of the leagues, I should say, specialty shows, including Eric Bergroot's 10 in 10 in his latest episode, talking to Kevin Crowe, the outdoor soccer Hall of Famer, but indoor soccer legend, Pereira. And when I say outdoor soccer, just the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame. He's going in for his indoor career, although he was a member of the U.S. national team. He played for the U.S. national team in the Olympics, in 2 different Olympics, Kevin Crowe. Anyways, check out a lot more with Bergroot, who did the whole interview. I'm just talking extemporaneously. Find that at MASL TV. Here's Cerda. Pereira got a hot pass into him. 9.5 left in the third quarter of the grand final. Soccer's got all this scoring done as Cardenas punts it out of play. All of it in the first half. 1-0, 1-1, 3-1. We showed you those highlights. And then Leo, Tavoy, Mendez, and Cardenas. Leo's got 2 goals and an assist. Ruggles got a goal and 2 assists. Tavoy Morgan a goal and 2 assists. The Stars are starring tonight. Mendez, who's got a brace. Spun and lost it. Carvalho back the other way. Down was Sanchez. He got back up, and look what was in his pocket, the ball. Triple team as well, though. Pee-wee. Perez is back this time. And Pee-wee says, well, here you go. He's just practicing for later. Under 9 minutes in the third quarter.
Yeah, and Pee-wee's one of those players that you just saw get involved in 3 different plays. He's going to be everywhere. His work rate defensively is incredible, and he's one of those players that are a thorn on the side of any player that has him, marking him, as he's relentless and tenacious how he defends, and he's incredibly physical. Despite his size, he's going to get in there. He's not afraid to go up against anybody.
Perez. Perpetual empty net. This is usually the desperation strategy at the end of the fourth quarter. But much as the NFL has evolved, indoor soccer has evolved and recognized where they can just do this all the time. Mario Alvarez and Andre Hain back to Carvalho. Sanchez now. Out to Alvarez. Tried to lay it to the middle. Good block there, but it comes to Perez. He's trying to keep the play alive. Over to Cerda. Now you can't shoot on goal from inside the yellow line unless it bounces before the other yellow line. Carvalho lines it up, looking back post, and Ruggles made a sliding, flying tackle of the ball to keep it away from an Ian Bennett tap-in. That was a huge play, goal saver. Out Cerda, reading Perez. Perez ran into him and fell down. Sanchez trying to take it off the corner boards. Next ball out of play is the third quarter media timeout. Carvalho looking for that next goal and the first goal of the third quarter. Perez wants it. Perez finding Hain. Hain trying to turn. Laid it back to Perez. He shoots. Saved by Toth. Ruggles floats it over the top, but just gives it back to Alvarez. And the Wave can maintain possession and the players on the floor. It's Carvalho over to Alvarez. Down to the middle, it's Hain. Hain turning to shoot. It's going to be, lay it off to Perez and Toth. Now the chance to counter is here, and Perez has to race back. He is huffing and puffing as he races back into net. It's crazy what they ask him to do. It really is. No one else does it.
And then to be able to recognize as a soccer is that in order to go ahead and get all the way back, you do expend a lot of energy. But in order to go ahead and make sure he runs all the way back, they're very patient and not counterattacking quickly. Let him go ahead and run back. Let him use that energy. And now the Sockers are so far controlling this third quarter.
Perez with hands on hips gets a water bottle from his teammate, William Bonahene. We take a timeout in the grand final. Sockers are trying to run out this clock. And they got the first half of the third quarter on lock. Back with more on Galazzo.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Front Wave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members take their financial plans to the next level. Because our value and values run deep, and we'll always fight for you with 100% commitment and no excuses. Open an account with Front Wave Credit Union today, and you could get a $350 bonus when you switch. Front Wave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Please hold. Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, then come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Back at Front Wave Arena, which is rocking and rolling, the home team, the San Diego Sockers, looking for their 17th major indoor championship in franchise history and leading by 6 on home ground. They are two-time MASL Ron Newman Cup champions, winning in 2021 and 2022 back-to-back. They appeared in the finals last year, made it to the third game, but it was a 15-minute knockout game, and it was in Chihuahua, where the Chihuahua Savage won their third championship in a row. The Savage chose to leave the league. Here's Morales trying to bring one down. Bennett dancing at midfield. Pereira steps in for not much of a foul, but a stoppage nonetheless. And the league went from 12 teams to 8 this year, and I think a lot of people maybe from the outside thought, oh boy, trouble for the MASL. And boy, the opposite was the case, Tony. The absolute opposite was the case.
It's been a wonderful season. It's definitely been
space here for a second. Sorry, Ludwig was open. Now Mario trying to kick to the middle. And now this could be a golden chance. Morales. Oh, Momo, can you get one? Momo still alive. Great block by Ludwig. Sold out to deny that goal.
That was a correct play by Momo to be able to take advantage and see and feel himself, knowing that it's going to be a desperation time for Milwaukee back in transition into the defensive end. But a great play and a sliding tackle. Right now, Milwaukee's playing for their life, and they have to go ahead and get some answers on offense if they want to come back.
Alvarez. Even though the clock is ticked down and almost 10 minutes have gone out of this half, nothing's really changed for Milwaukee's win condition here. They just need to get a flurry of goals. They need to get one of those patented 2-3 goals in a minute and a half that we've seen in indoor soccer week in and week out. Now, it's not as easy to do against a locked-in championship side like San Diego. That's for sure. But that's why you bring the goalkeeper into the attack for 6v5. Sanchez dancing. 32 goals on the regular season. Alvarez.
And a testament to how systematically sound Milwaukee is with this for the entire third quarter. There hasn't been a single goal, and I really haven't seen Perez in his own net.
Here he is, heading the ball to keep it alive and keep possession alive. This is when Perez can actually rest a little bit. Crazily enough is when he's on the wall waiting to see if he's an option on offense. Here he is, stepping in, looking for the shot. It's caromed back to Toth. Tipped off of the back heel of Leo. Now Toth can throw it out long. He cannot throw a goal, but it's headed by Alvarez anyway. And then Perez has raced all the way down the floor. And Correa wins it back for Milwaukee. A quick win back for the Wave. They absolutely need those for the rest of the night without pause, because otherwise the Sockers will probably get their next goal.
And then it'll be interesting if Milwaukee does at any point implement a super power play situation with an added element, an added player to open up those spaces potentially to restart this offense.
Oh, well, if they get a power play, they'll go super for sure. But, I mean, they're super right now, right? They've got Jerry in the action. Sanchez looking for the wall pass. Ruggles read it. Now, could it be Pee Wee? He was outside the yellow line. He bounces it once, twice, and wide. Now Nilton trying to charge Jerry Perez here. He missed, and the Wave trying to come down the floor. Sockers crashing in. Raymond, Nilton, and Pee Wee. Nilton de Andrade, nothing. I think Carvalho kind of got him from behind there, Tony.
Yeah, Carvalho poked that ball in between his legs. And again, expending that energy coming on back is going to be the hard part, but even harder part is trying to muster your way and maneuver all the way down the floor to create some offense.
Well, let me massage the question you just asked earlier. Is there a point where you go to a traditional sixth attacker and start rotating field players instead of Perez? Here's Bennett. Bennett. Stolen by Ruggles. Well done. Nilton knows that line. He's got a cross. So does Perez. He stepped up for the steal right at it. 2:22 in the third. No scoring in this quarter, which is fine for San Diego. This one blocked by Raymond into the corner. Ben Raymond's led the club coming into today with 10 blocked shots. Look at the effort of Pee Wee. Working as hard as he can. And has suffered injuries all year long. But look where his legs are in a grand final, Tony. Racing.
Just a great story with Pee Wee, and again, what it means to some of these players that have had this situation in previous years that know what this means. And for Milwaukee also to set themselves up for redemption here from where they were last year as well.
They're using Hayne as the pivot here. Andre Hayne is the target to move the ball to and around with him in the middle. That's how Perez will get open on the wing. Now Alvarez found a pocket for a second, but it was taken away, and with no foul, the Sockers have the chance. This is the empty netter. It was deflected off of Carvalho, and that'll go in wide. Raymond just shoves Carvalho.
Carvalho waiting for that contact, knowing that Raymond was racing all the way behind for that pressure. Any sort of touch, light tap, Carvalho was always going to go to ground.
Minute 20. Can the Wave get one? The math starts becoming quite difficult with a 0 third quarter. If the Sockers get one, it's deadly. Back to Alvarez. Again, you know, they're keeping the play, keeping it going. They're not panicking. Final minute of the third quarter. Hayne looking for that right layoff. It's Ludwig stepping to his right foot, just wide. And now Leo trying to hustle on this ball. He's got it. The master of the long shot, but the ball got out in front of him. And Alvarez was able to chase it all the way down to his crease, and then Perez just pops it in the air. Bicycle! On his bike was Mendez, looking for a hat trick in the top highlight on SportsCenter. Momo called for a foul in the corner. Won by Alvarez with 33 on the clock.
And just how locked in the San Diego Sockers side is. They're putting the pressure, but also with the wherewithal to know that any missed ball or any spilled ball by Milwaukee is an automatic opportunity for a shot on the other side. Sometimes you got to do the spectacular one and it'll go in. But for right now, Milwaukee has been perfect this third quarter with no goals.
Perez.
Despite. Yep.
10 seconds. They need to get a shot away. Knowing the clock now is Alvarez. So does Ludwig. He will shoot just wide. And with 3 seconds left, it will be a scoreless quarter for Milwaukee and San Diego. And that means the Sockers have ticked one more box on the road to Ron Newman. 15 minutes remain in the grand final of the Major Arena Soccer League Championship. We've got
Mendez.
An injury along the wall, and we will let you know about that when we come back with the fourth quarter of the Ron Newman Cup Final. 7-1, San Diego leading Milwaukee. The cup will be determined in minutes.
Front Wave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
Please hold. Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Please signal, runway 6 right, clear to land.
Parents, if we're on screens too much, what about you?
So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them.
Get real close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
The final Frisbee toss of the season, and somebody actually nailed the target, and that means they get half the pot. And as these kids scramble to clean up all the fun, let's look back at what's been an incredible season here in the Major Arena Soccer League. Again, an 8-team table, and as we were talking about during the run of play, you might think, oh, 12 to 8 teams, oh, what a loss for the league. No, this was everything gained. In the end of the season, the top 5 of the 6 teams that made the playoffs were separated by 4 points. The top 4 by 2 points. The MASL Shield came down to the final kick of 2 different games on the last day of the season. And season attendance went over 250,000 fans, but more importantly, approached an average of 3,000 fans per team per game. Last season average attendance 2257, so they gained almost over 600 fans per game on average. And coming into the league in 2026-27, Lehigh Valley adds to the MASL, as we talked about with Keith Tozer in our halftime interview. An AHL city, Lehigh Valley, the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, that AHL ownership communing with the MASL, creating that joint partnership to keep the arena humming throughout the winter. I think this could be a formula for a lot more Eastern teams to join the MASL. And it's not just finding new teams. That kind of is the old MASL, was finding new teams. It's finding good teams, ownership, investment, arenas, control, scheduling ability, all the things that make this place, Front Wave Arena, so special and unique. Cam Will trying to charge in to start the 4th and final quarter as the Sockers run right to left and the Wave run left to right. Morales dancing on the southern wall, now to the middle of the floor, and he's got Morgan with him, who wants a hat trick. Tony Walls gets in the way, and Alex Steinwasser recovers for Milwaukee through his brother Javier, who's now up the middle of the floor, and he's sent in bro. Alex Steinwasser ahead, stops to try and load his right foot. Big mistake. That allowed everybody to get back.
They couldn't capitalize on that good counterattacking option. It's one of those chances where you have to take your shot with whichever foot is available, but nonetheless, that wasn't taken advantage of. Here, Chris Toth needs to go ahead and clear this, as he does. Very well done with those educated feet of his.
Interestingly, Perez is back right now. Now he is running up, but only to midfield at this point, and in fact just received the ball in front of the San Diego bench. So now they go to a traditional 6th attacker. Ricardo Carvalho has come on as the 6th attacker. Perez, his night might be ostensibly over. He'll be running in situations. And it's a true 6v5 empty net. Carvalho now while I say that, Carvalho can act as a goalkeeper. He can catch the ball in the crease. He can play it with his hands in the crease. So they still have a keeper, but Ricardo Carvalho is a forward. He's not a keeper.
Yeah, so they say in the streets, portero ambulante, the ambulating goalkeeper, who can still get involved. That's going to be called a foul here on for Sebastian.
And a delay on Sanchez. And then, no, that was Mendez mistakenly and understandably thought that Butler was whistling restart when he was actually whistling delay of game on Alex Sanchez. So he tried to kick it into the empty net. And now Perez has come racing back onto the floor. And this is going to be his new run. And he's got to be exciting because it's almost half as long as it was before to get all the way down the floor. Leo battling. Cam Will comes out with the ball. Leo dispossesses with malice. Serta chips it down the floor, and Walls can watch it bounce to Perez. Milwaukee needs a +6 in the next 13 minutes to keep their season alive. Otherwise, the Sockers win the championship. Be their 7th modern championship since the restart of the franchise in 2009. They won their first 4 years from 2010 to 13 in the PASL, which is part of what made the MASL. PASL and the MISL, the third version of it, both merged in 2014. Here's Carvalho coming in on left wing. Ricardo's been a part of all the seasons. He shoots it off the O in Olympus movement performance. And the crease just above it. And it stays to the Wave with 12:22 left in the fourth. Ludwig, who had a huge game in their first visit, the second game of the year for San Diego, first for Milwaukee, had a couple of goals. Ludwig's got room here, and there, speak of him and he shall speak back as Ludwig scores at 2:48 to light a candle for the Wave at 7-2.
And you can see how well Milwaukee worked this play all the way through and around the horn, getting Ludwig a shot there. And then nobody was able to press up as you look at Cesar Cerda, who asked his teammates, calma, calma, relax. It's still 7-2. But again, that's a lifeline for Milwaukee right now with 12:10 left in the fourth.
2:48 that time, a goal. Now the Wave will have a little bit extra spark. All the adrenal glands just fired simultaneously on the bench. Let's see what the impact is. Morgan trying to turn and make the impact. A Charlie goal. Javier Steinwasser blocks the shot. Morgan trying to spin again, pulled down. There have not been any cards tonight, nor do I think there will be unless it's dramatic or obvious, but there is a free kick, and here it comes.
Very well worked by Tavoy Morgan. Again, having the back to his wall is a specialty of the house, and having that question for the defender. Is Morgan going to turn left, right, lay it off? There, he bets on himself in a triple team, knowing there's going to be contact and earning a set piece in a dangerous spot for the Sockers who are trying to respond.
It's back to Morales. His shot was blocked, trying to race out on that ball is Correa, but Leo gets there in time to Chris Toth. Over to Charlie and Luis Morales. Crashing in Cam Will. High energy to win the ball. Well done.
And this is where Milwaukee has to use everything that's left in the gas tank, because there is no tomorrow for either of these teams, but one of these teams will have a championship cup by tomorrow.
They need another one fast. Sanchez. Across to Ferdinand, who just got the assist on that last goal. IMAX, second in the league in history in assists. Leo's been trying to chase him down for a long time. Ferdinand. Over to Carvalho, who jumped up, and as he did, kind of had the ball get out from the middle of him. And now it's just cleared, and Ferdinand has to run it down along the bench wall. Sockers looking to make a change and to get their captain back on the floor. And they do, and Serta's back out there. That's bad news for Milwaukee. Here comes Sanchez. He'll rip it off the goal glass. And then Serta, well, not his finest moment of the night as he kicks it out over the low wall, and that means top of the arc. Here's Milwaukee's chance to make it a different game.
Serta trying to clear it there without a look, and a first-time chance, and that just bounces on the wrong side of the shin guard and gives Milwaukee this set piece. That could be the answer to go ahead and get another goal in a quick succession.
It's laid back to Ferdinand, who had come on late as if to try and bait the Sockers into not guarding him. Now it's Alvarez to the 6th attacker, Carvalho in the corner. Again, empty net to the left of your screen. Sockers have Serta win it. Can Leo get it? Instead, the number 10, Alvarez, crashes in, and then Ferdinand collides with Hain, who thought he was fouled, but it was by his own player. He just didn't know because it was from behind.
And the Sockers right now looking for the mistake, looking for that errant pass that's going to give them a
Hain,
look on
good
goal.
layoff. It's Carvalho. Save made and chested by Raymond calmly into the grasp of Chris Toth. The first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter are done. Perez has run back on the floor. Here's Leo. He's double teamed, triple teamed in the corner. Sockers have fresh legs out there, though. Herrera will only be out there as long as the Sockers are on this side of the field. Then he'll try and get off and have a defender get on. Like right now. As this time, Jerry will probably stay in the play, seeing as he's in the game. Or, nope, they've made the call. That's what Marcial Leite has done. He's made the call. It's Carvalho now in that role. 9:20 in the grand final. Again, time, still plenty of time for Milwaukee, but the lead is what's working for San Diego as Milton tries to win it 1v1. Pee-wee digging it out. Milton, Mario crashes. Mario Alvarez.
And you can see what the defensive effort comes, the instructions all the way from the back to the front. The attackers are the first defenders when it comes to the San Diego Sockers, but still unable to cash in on that empty net. One goal in that, and it's going to go ahead and really take a emotional turn for Milwaukee potentially if they let a goal in without a goalkeeper.
Carvalho blocked by Serta up into the high netting. 8:33 left. Still 33 seconds away from the media timeout window. So a corner restart for the Wave. They need something in a hurry. Alvarez. Sanchez shoots to the back post. He was looking for Bennett. Great intervention all over the field. And then a skipping shot, and it's Bennett on the back post. Carvalho kept it alive. Found Bennett, who never quit on the play. And that's two straight for Milwaukee, Tony. It's 7-3.
And that's what gives Bennett such a legendary status, is sticking with the play and never giving up, following through, as you see Carvalho gets double blocked here, able to regain his own rebound, and then he go ahead and lays it into the middle. Bennett just taps it in, being in the exact spot where he needs to. And again, another spark for Milwaukee to try to come on back.
Perpetual sixth attacker, but not right this second. Perez comes in to start. That's a foul called against Milwaukee. So, again, I'm sure there's a lot of folks who haven't watched a ton of indoor that are watching the grand final. And if you're still with us, you're probably thinking that I'm overselling it. But if Milwaukee gets the next goal, it's a very different game, because the Sockers will have conceded 3 in a row, and Milwaukee will have all the energy working for them. And they've every time got that one-man advantage because they're playing 6v5. Sockers haven't had an empty goal yet. You kind of feel like it'll only take one. And when they get one, that'll be the match. And could this be the one? Raymond left it alive. Then he left it for Charlie. Too unselfish by 15 times. He could have shot it in himself.
And that's when sometimes you look at the situation, there's no goalkeeper, but it almost seems too good to be true, and the eyes widen in that moment. Here's a chance.
It's Andrade, it's Pereira, and it's a kick save, Jerry Perez. Big save. Milwaukee's Bennett used to be able to beat everyone down the floor, win MVP, 50 goal seasons in this league. His play predates the MASL. He was back with the Wave in the MISL. He was a teammate of Pereira. Look out! Look out! Oh, Bennett almost stole another goal. Toth is mad, but with under 7 to play, this long throw out hits its target. Ruggles, oh, couldn't get there. He said he was held. Butler says play on. Next ball out of play is the media timeout.
It's great vision by Toth, who's already had distribution assists so far, but that's the other side of it, where you need to be able to keep your eye on the prize on offense for the Sockers, because one goal will be incredibly important, and each save is that much more important for Milwaukee's chances to stay in it as well.
Here's Mendez open. They've got an empty net. Seba looking for the hat trick, and he misses by a good 8 feet.
And this is where the legs start getting heavy. This end of the season, everything that both of these teams have worked for, have trained for these sorts of moments. And Milwaukee right now needs to find that opportunity to regain momentum, to get back into this match. And it's not going to be easy because the Sockers have been playing really well on defense, keeping that shape, being partners with each other, escaloneándose back to back.
Serta got the win on the steal. Can he pick the pocket? This is on target. Alvarez cleans it up. But can he? Mendez off of Ferdinand and out. Tries again and scores! Hat trick! Shirt off! Game over? He says yes. 8-3 Sockers!
And speaking of follow through, that's exactly what this young man has done here. The offensive work rate, to be able to get a shot off, get the rebound, position well to control. Y vámonos! 8-3, Sebas. Put the Sockers back on the momentum path.
We're back with the conclusion of this one next. Ron Newman Cup is in the house and they're polishing it right now. Sockers lead by 5 on Galazzo.
From the Pacific to the desert, our members work hard, dream big, and always fight for what's important. For over 70 years, Front Wave Credit Union has been serving those who serve and helping our members build equity and refinance with confidence. Invest in your future with a commercial real estate loan. From residential investment properties to industrial real estate, we've got you covered with 100% commitment and no excuses. Front Wave Credit Union. Dream big. We got you.
Parents, if we're on screens too much,
What about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari
to hang with the coolest,
kookiest, tallest animals ever. Whoa! We can hop with them,
Get real close to them.
and every visit helps the animals. But that screen around can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd
at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
5:35 left in the Ron Newman Cup Finals. 9:25 the time of Sebastian Mendez's 4th goal of the playoff and 3rd of the night. Firing it past Max Ferdinand into the empty net for an 8-3 lead. Now the Sockers just need to see out the time and celebrate their 3rd ever MASL championship, their 3rd of the decade, the 7th in modern history. Leo cut it, hoping for Raymond to be racing off just a second quicker than he was. He would have been wide open if he had been.
That boy pretty much pulled himself back into that bench. Wanted to race out because he saw the open space here.
Serta the steal. Perez is in net. And he's got the ball. Cam Well, shown pretty well. He was included because of the Oscar Flores injury into the lineup the last 2 nights. 4.5 left to play. If you don't know who Ron Newman is, the man who the cup is named after, as Cesar Serta works his way up the north wall, he's the greatest coach in the history of indoor soccer. He was the San Diego Sockers head coach at first outdoor and indoor as the team debuted indoors in the North American Soccer League in 1981. They had a losing season the first year. Not the only losing season, one of the only in soccer's history. Not the only, but one of very, very few over the course from 1978 to now with a couple of gaps. Under 4 minutes to play. Newman won 5 straight championships twice. Tripping foul on Cesar Correa. from 1982 to 1986, and again from 1988 to 1992. The Sockers won 10 of the 11 championships during a time in which, after 1984 and the folding of the North American Soccer League, there was no Division I outdoor league in the United States of America. The Division I league was indoor soccer, and the superstars of the game played indoors. Cam Will coming forward. Oh, open for a second was Will, but he couldn't get the ball off of the wrong foot. Soccer's playing fast and loose with it here, threatening to concede a fourth. Mendez would like to score a fourth. Instead, he's going to send in Nick Pereira. Nick has never won an MASL championship. He won his rookie year with the Sockers in the PASL in 2011. He won in his first year in the MISL with the Wave, where he won in 2012, and the current commissioner, Keith Tozer, was his head coach. For most of the rest of his career, he's been playing against the Sockers and losing to them in the playoffs, whether it's in Ontario, as this one goes past a guy with a very similar story in Chris Toth, or Tacoma, where Nick was the captain, head coach, general manager, do it all in Tacoma for 8 years. This year, age 39, comes back to be with his family here in San Diego, Tony, and scored the goal to send them to the finals. Now he's out there with Nilton with 2:25 to play, looking for one more. This could be Nilton, and it is. Nilton de Andrade working 9 to 5 and keeping it going. The hard-working man puts the 9th on the board. 9-3 the score.
And that's the goal that he's been looking for the past 2 games. Getting in some space with a slow roll on the bottom of the foot between 2 players. You can just see the body language from the defenders as well. Just really a lot of energy has been expended throughout this series, throughout this season. And Nilton de Andrade getting a deserved shot on goal and being rewarded for his efforts for joining the San Diego Sockers. Sockers 9, Milwaukee Wave 3.
This from Wave Arena crowd, 3,860 on 2 days' notice and a Monday night after 5,500 on Friday.
I mean, you talk about the history of the San Diego Sockers. The veterans of this team have been part of weaving that history and know what it takes to be part of this organization. Some of the players that are younger that are joining, whether it be Sebastián Mendez, Morales, also know the pedigree of the San Diego Sockers as well. And they are now being rewarded with a championship appearance and potentially very close to their Ron Newman Cup moment.
The Sockers saved their best home performance for their last match, and the one that literally means the most. The one that's championship or bust. That's the Sockers team philosophy, Tony, is championship or bust, and that's everything that a grand final is. Phil Salvaggio is about to go to 7-1 all time in grand finals and undefeated at home. Charlie would love to get his name on the board, so would Nick. But they're perfectly, as Nick just double agents the ball into the corner. Since we're playing extreme keep away now. 1:38 before the Sockers celebrate. This crowd comes to their feet to bring them home and across the goal line. Under 90 seconds to play. In an arena that was the concept of their head coach and owner, Phil Salvaggio, as de Andrade is called for a foul. He's been trying to build this thing for a decade. It came to life in 2024. Sockers were a perfect 15-0 last year at home. Anything but this year. Sanchez shoots wide. Comes down to Ludwig, who tries to toe poke it and slide it through, and Serta says no thank you. 1:10 remains. Serta over to Charlie. Charlie's going to chip it north. Raymond trying to spend in Nilton. They were teammates at one point in Utica. Final minute, minute 60 of the final.
Everybody coming to their feet. This North County crowd a chance now to
Charlie
seal it.
For number 10, it's Charlie.
Firmala Charlie, golazo from the logo essentially. Another player that deserved to be on the scoreline today. just rolling it in for the double digit. La 10 a 3.
This huge supporters group that's come together this year in a bigger sense than ever before, Tony. Los Brujos del 78, Adrian Delgado, the man in charge, but Lalo and Greaser and Chupas, so many guys who have just poured their heart into this, and these are the same folks who support SDFC, and they get to celebrate a championship tonight and feel that, what it means to support a club across the finish line and be rewarded with a cup. What a special night. The final 30 seconds, and the Milwaukee Wave have decided that this will be it. Handshakes, hugs all through the San Diego Sockers bench as they know that this one is in fact done. North County now has a new home for sports, entertainment, and championships. The San Diego Sockers, 17-time champs, 3-time in the MASL, and it's all over!
Campeones San Diego! The Ron Newman Cup lives in Oceanside after the best home performance by this team, peaking at the right time and rewarding this amazing city with another championship.
The San Diego Sockers, 7-time modern champions, 3 times in the 2020s in the Major Arena Soccer League. They were denied on the road last year. This year, they finish it at home and in emphatic style. 10-3, our final score. So many of these fans have followed the Sockers, not only from Pechanga Arena on the Midway downtown here to North County Oceanside, but have followed them from the MISL and all the way through from the 1980s to here. There's one of them right there. And this is a special moment for head coach and owner Phil Salvaggio and for Craig Childs, the longtime captain of this team, who could not play tonight. His knee injury kept him out, but he's out there celebrating with his teammates and getting hugs from his teammates right now. As the two captains embrace, Craig Childs and Cesar Cerda, Momo's dancing, hats are coming out. And the trophy celebration is just minutes away. Here, we're waiting for an interview down on the floor. But first, soak in the scenes.
This means everything to these players. Every grain of sand mattered this season in such a tight race. The entire regular season, seconds away from potential elimination, seconds away from potential games that got out of hand. They were able to get it back together.
We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and see the cup be delivered to the home of Ron Newman, San Diego. 10-3 final score in the Ron Newman Cup Finals. Back with more on Golazo.
There's regular cold, and then there's the mountains are blue cold. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
At Front Wave Credit Union, we're all in on you. You're not just a number, you're a member. And we're putting $350 behind what we believe in. Get started today. Dream big. We got you.
Not medically necessary. Out of network. Request denied. Referral denied. Claim denied. Denied.
What if insurance, doctors, pharmacies came together and worked as one team?
If you can't get what you want, come with me.
That would be a better idea for healthcare. Kaiser Permanente.
Parents, if we're on screens too much,
What about you? So let's ditch them and go outside on safari to hang with the coolest, kookiest,
close to them.
And every visit helps the animals. But that screen you're on can't do it justice. So let's get out here and join the herd!
At the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
With the call from 6th grade riddle.
Let's go downstairs. Nick Ferrara standing by with tonight's hat-trick hero, Sebastian Mendez.
It's time for our first Ron Newman Cup MASL Champion Player of the Game, Sebastian Mendez. Sebas, when you hear that cheer, and we know everything is bigger from the great state of Texas, but when you're here, you're home in San Diego right now, you hear that for the first time. MASL Ron Newman Cup champion. Say it again, champion. You scored the first goal of the evening, which set the tone. A completely different vibe, energy, and focus from what we saw here just days ago. Talk about what it was like to be here and share this moment with your team as a first time ever MASL Ron Newman Cup champion.
First of all, shout out to Milwaukee Wave. They're such a great team, and you know, they fought really hard to be here, and yeah, shout out to them. Second of all, thank you to all my boys. I wouldn't be here without them, and especially these fans. Thank you so much.
A big shout out to the fans, always important here at Front Wave Arena. Their energy and excitement was with you through and through, and they've remained loyal and committed, much like yourself. Now, with a nickname like Chaos, anything is just about possible on any given moment. And even at points this season, you lost your cool. But yet it was tonight, you reminding your teammates early and often, stay calm, stay focused. I witnessed it for myself. Talk about that, your growth as a player and your understanding of the magnitude of this moment here at Front Wave Arena tonight.
Yeah, first of all, I had to learn how to save my energy because I'm all over the place, like you said. So, yeah, and honestly, I had to trust my teammates. You know, like I said, I wouldn't be here without them. They're my family, and I love them to death.
Well, you got a hat trick, and now we're going to say it one more time. You're an MASL Ron Newman Cup champion. Front Wave, we're going to give it up one more time for your very own Sebastian Mendez, a.k.a. Chaos. Craig, Tony, back to you.
New nickname, Chaos, for Sebastian Mendez. Take that. Chaos reigns tonight, and the Sockers reign 10-3. Tony, this is truly a performance unlike any other for the Sockers this year in this sense. We were talking about this before the game.
It's been suffered for sure, Craig.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought.
I mean, it's been suffered. The San Diego Sockers haven't had a victory this way.
This is what we were talking about before the game. The Sockers had played 14 home games coming into this. There were 3 games against teams that didn't make the playoffs. They won those 3 games in blowouts. Every other game they played this year at home, every other game was tied in the fourth quarter, and 9 of those 11 saw the Sockers trailing in the fourth quarter. They trailed in the fourth quarter against St. Louis. They trailed in the fourth quarter against Kansas City in the game that they had to come back to win in order to win the MASL Shield. They trailed in the fourth quarter Friday against Milwaukee and, of course, lost that game. But tonight, they dominated this game from start to finish. Milwaukee tied only at 1 point in the game and never after 8:50 in the first quarter. Sockers outscore in the second quarter, 4-0. Let's go downstairs to a man who's just won his first MASL championship, but is 4th with the Sockers overall. Chris Toth with Nick Ferrara.
Our next Ron Newman Cup and MASL champion player of the game is none other than the human wall, Chris Toth. Aside from putting a lock on the goal tonight, you even assisted on one. Let's talk about what it means to be crowned as a champion of the ups and downs of this tumultuous MASL season, but knowing every blood, sweat, and tear created this moment right here as an MASL Ron Newman Cup champion.
Yeah, well, you know, that sounds nice. Chris Smith, champion. And the Sockers, man, we worked so hard to be here, and these guys grind it out every day at training, in the gym, in recovery, in all aspects, and I couldn't be more proud of them. And you know, thank you fans for showing up. Both games, you guys are unbelievable. And personally, for me, this means so much. I've been fighting for years to get back to this situation, playing away, and now I'm back home, and we did it. And then we're going for more, baby. Let's go.
The Toth name is no stranger to Front Wave Arena. Although Zoli, the goalie, never played here, his name hangs in the rafters. And when we asked him at halftime what it was like to watch his son do his best Zoli impression, he said, simply, I love him. 3 special words that were so authentic and true. Talk about the meaning, the family connection of the San Diego Sockers, and what it was like to do it in front of your father tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is super special. I could just remember when I tried out with the San Diego Sockers 17 years ago, and he came with me. And you know, I know what he's done for this franchise and in his career, and he was unbelievable. And you know, I'm proud to represent the same club he played at, and also wear the same jersey that he wore. That's up in the rafters. You know, I'm so thankful to be playing back with my family here, with everybody. And yeah, I love my dad and I love my family.
Speaking of family, we have some amazing teammates on the San Diego Sockers, but let's talk specifically about the goalkeepers, Nathaniel Lindquist, and of course the legendary, iconic Boris Pardo. What's it like to have an embarrassment of riches and so much talent? How do you guys, because sometimes with your position, it feels like you're on an island. What is it like to have teammates like that you can console with and share those moments?
Yeah, you know, it's been great. You know, Boris did a hell of a job this year. I picked up that injury that I was out for 2 months, and he did so well, and Natty came in as well, and we, you know, Boris and I kind of took him under our wing and showed him the ropes a bit, and you know, we got some great goalkeepers here. There's been great goalkeepers that have played here in the past, so you all know that, and we know the shoes are big, and we're here to try to fill them, and you know, keep it going, keep the tradition.
The shoes are filled, and now go fill that Ron Newman Cup up with some champagne. You earned it. Give it up one more time for Chris Toth, MASL Ron Newman Cup champion.
Great job, Nick Ferrara. Appreciate it. We're getting ready for the trophy ceremony now, and it's, of course, going to begin with the presentation of the medals, including the finalists' medals for the Milwaukee Wave. And this, while it is, I know, a somber award, one that many teams and players just don't want to experience or even hang on to, I think it's something that when you get deeper in your life and your career, Tony, you recognize this was a team that played for a title. This was a special team. And this Milwaukee Wave team was a special team this year under first-year head coach Marcio Leite. First, you see the presentation of the medals to the officials in tonight's game. Shane Butler, Brian Miller, Arnold Balto, and Servando Berna all doing a great job and calling no penalties. So great job, guys. didn't have to be here. Great job. No, I'm just kidding. They did a wonderful job in tonight's game. But now that the officials have been adorned, it's time for the Wave to begin. Our post game is officially underway. And it starts again with this moment. And Marcio Leite, their leader, right there up front, waiting to take care of things. Now, Nick Ferrara downstairs. Let's go to his mic.
And with that, we welcome you to the official 2026 Ron Newman Cup trophy presentation. What an incredible season, an unforgettable run, and what a championship performance right here tonight. Let's hear it for both teams who left everything on the field and gave us a battle worthy of the Ron Newman Cup. To the best fans in the league, whether you're here in the arena or cheering from home, this moment belongs to you. Your energy, your passion, your unwavering support have fueled this team all season long. We also want to extend a huge thank you to Front Wave Arena for being the home of championship moments, and to the city of Oceanside for embracing this team and creating an electric atmosphere all year long. Sockers fans, this is your moment. Celebrate it. Let's get loud, stay proud, and welcome to your 2026 Ron Newman Cup ceremony. At this time, please join us in welcoming our distinguished dignitaries as they make their way to the field for the presentation of tonight's awards. Please welcome Guy Newman. He is bringing with him the Championship Cup. Zoltan Toth, presenting the Best Goalkeeper Award for the Ron Newman Cup playoffs. And Paul Doherty, who are bringing in the MVP Finalist Award. We're honored to have them here, as well as recognize the outstanding achievements of our competitors. Let's give them all a warm Front Wave Arena welcome.
You want to go? Ready to start reading these off?
Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue with tonight's championship celebration, we'd like to take a moment to recognize an essential part of the game. Please join us in thanking tonight's officiating crew for their hard work, professionalism, and dedication throughout the season. At this time, we are proud to present the officials with tokens of our appreciation. Let's hear it for our referees. Here to present their awards is MASL head referee Ryan Sigich, Shane Butler, Brian Miller, Servando Berna, and Arnold Baldo. One more time for the best officiating crew in the MASL. Tonight, we honor not only our champions, but also the outstanding finalists who battled their way through a remarkable season to earn a place in the Ron Newman Cup Finals. Their dedication, resilience, and high level of play have been a true testament to the strength and competitiveness of this league. Please join us in congratulating this year's finalists for an exceptional season and a hard-fought championship run. Sockers fans, let's show them the respect they deserve. Give it up for the Milwaukee Wave. Team President, Sean Amini. Team Administrator, Amy Amini. The training staff, Michelle DeRome, Cynthia Soto Chavez, Zara Campos, team trainer, Ricardo Vidal Chavez. Assistant coach, Jonathan Greenfield. Assistant coach, Daniel Matos. Head coach, Marcio Lieti. Number 30, Gerardo Jerry Perez. Number 33, Willie B. 00, Cam Will. Number 6, Sean Asqueta. Number 7, Ricardo Carvalho. Number 9, Derek Huffman. Number 10, Mario Alvarez. Number 12, Stuart Grable. Number 15, Cesar Correra. Number 16, Oscar Flores. Number 20, Tony Walls. Number 23, Max Ludwig. Number 24, Max Ferdinand Jr. Number 29, Lucas Nestus. Number 44, Alex Steinwasser. Number 76, Tanner Hodgkin. Number 80, Alex Sanchez. Number 97, Javier Steinwasser. Number 99, Andre Hain. And captain number 26, Ian Bennett. One more time for the Milwaukee Wave. Now, a few words from the MASL Commissioner, Keith Tozier.
Phil Savaggio and the San Diego Sockers for hosting this year's MASL Championship. We also like to thank Sean Bowers, Mary Beth Hughes, and the entire staff at Front Wave Arena for an amazing event throughout this weekend. Also, to the great fans of San Diego Sockers and to the fans watching live on CBS around the world, thank you for your continued support of the Major Arena Soccer League. Now it's time to do the individual awards, so I'll throw it back to Nick. Nick?
Thank you, Commissioner. And now presenting the award for the best goalkeeper of the finals, Zoltan Toth. This award goes to someone he knows oh so well, his son, Chris Toth. One more time for Chris Toth. And now presenting the MASL Finals MVP Award is Paul Doherty. And the MASL Finals MVP is Leo de Oliveira.
Let him take a photo after he presents it. One more time for Leo.
One more time for Leo, your MASL Ron Newman Cup Championship MVP.
Hold on. Mary, let me know when to go with the roster. Mary, let me know when you want. Ready? Go for it.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, your Ron Newman Cup champions, San Diego Sockers. Our owner and head coach, Phil Salvaggio. Team President, Sean Bowers. Assistant Coach, Chicky Luna. Assistant Coach, Rene Ortiz. Assistant Coach, Paul Wright. Team Trainer, Paul Savage. Our training staff, Kara Templin, Jake Maxfield, Jerry Mosier, Anne-Marie Alf, and Corey Lichtman. Team manager, Alex Minar. And our mascot, Sonny. And now for our San Diego Sockers, number 7, Felipe Gonzalez. Number 17, Juancho Salazar. Number 18, Sean Callahan. Number 19, Marcel Sanchez. Number 23, Taylor Walter Bond. Number 30, Jose Bebe Gonzalez. Number 32, Adrian Reyes. Number 36, Andrew Pato Estrella.
You could say Nathaniel Natty Lindquist.
Number 64, Nathaniel Natty Lindquist. Number 73, Matt Herlo. Number 1, Chris Toth. Number 27, Boris Pardo. Number 2, Ben Raymond. Number 5, Nilton De Andrade. Number 8, Drew Ruggles. Number 9, Tavoy Morgan.
Your finals MVP.
Number 11, your MASL Finals MVP, Leo de Oliveira. Number 13, Chaos Sebastian Mendez. Number 21, Charlie Gonzalez. Number 31, Mitchell Cardenas. Number 69, Pee-wee Ortega. Number 77, in his first MASL championship, Nick Pereira. Number 80, Luis Morales. Number 91, Jesus Checo. Number 96, Mustafa Momo Gaye. Number 29, Cesar Cerda. And your captain, walking off the hallowed blue turf of Front Wave Arena as the champion, Craig Childs. And now, presenting the Ron Newman Cup to your MASL champion, San Diego Sockers, Keith Tozier. One more time, Front Wave Arena, your 2026 MASL Ron Newman Cup champions, the San Diego Sockers. The legacy of champions continues here at Front Wave Arena, and a big nod to the finest fans in all of professional sports. Go Sockers!
Winning the final. The San Diego Sockers beat the Wave 10-3. Let's quickly bring you the highlights of this one before we say goodbye and give you a chance to see what you missed if you just checked in to the celebration, the most dominant performance of the year for the Sockers. Watch them bring the cup with their captain, Cesar Cerda. We've got Craig Childs down on the floor with Nick. Let's go down there.
Craig Childs. Craig, it's been a special season, plenty of ups and downs, but the reality is, in your final season in the MASL, as a San Diego Soccer, you are walking off at the highest peak of the mountain. Talk about the journey and what it feels like. It's probably going to take a little while to settle in, but adding some more hardware to your already highly decorated cabinets.
You know, the boys supported me the whole way, and I'm super proud of all the effort they put in. We've had some ups and downs this season, but it's not how you start the season, it's how you finish, and we all came together at the end of the year.
They say that smooth seas do not make for skilled sailors. And to say that you guys went through tsunamis, hurricanes, and massive tidal waves throughout would be an understatement. Between the injuries, controversy, and absolute mayhem, the reality is, on this moment, on this Monday night here in your backyard where it all began for you and your soccer journey, you're walking off a champion. You've been a vital part of the organization and will continue to be. But when you put it into that perspective, can you imagine it any other way than the way we experienced it here tonight at Front Wave Arena?
It's a storybook ending. You know, at the beginning of the year, I dreamt that this is how it would end, and the boys backed me up. It's unfortunate I wasn't able to play, but the guys dug deep, put the work in, and here we are at the end of the season.
And just like that, remember, dreams do come true. Dreams, realities. Your 2026 MASL Ron Newman Cup champion and his team, Craig Childs, and your San Diego Sockers.
And with that, our coverage of the 2026 Ron Newman Cup playoffs comes to an end. An incredibly thrilling month of indoor
Family
soccer,
members, please make your
which
way.
saw 4 of the 5 final series go the distance, including the Ron Newman Cup finals tonight. I guess you could say, Tony, a tiny bit of anticlimax to the soccer world, the indoor soccer world, as San Diego dominates this game. But I do think it's a capstone for the most talented team in the league, who went through so much adversity over the course of this league. At one point, playing with 12 injured players on February 1st, missing 3/4 of their starting lineup when they took on Tacoma and won that game in overtime here at Front Wave Arena. Every point counted for them to get the shield, and then they made it count by the most important yet subtle thing, agreeing to a 3rd full game and agreeing to the cost of restaffing for a 3rd full game, restaffing the arena, 2 more nights of a hotel. But that decision gave this team a chance to regroup after they lost in front of 5,500 fans here at Front Wave Arena on Friday night, got punched in the gut. They had the chance to regroup instead of just refresh and run back out to play another 15 minutes to decide the championship. And I really think that was the difference tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, listening and seeing every single member of the San Diego Sockers being called up for the medal, you can recall a moment in time this season where they were a pivotal part of the success, and it's one game at a time, and this really highlights the team aspect that the San Diego Sockers were able to tap in. They needed each other, and they fought for each other until the bitter end here, and it's not a bitter end, it's absolutely sweet for everybody in the San Diego Sockers organization. Congratulations to them, but it's also a testament to the league being able to build for Milwaukee. This is their first chance to see MASL at the helm, so this can be a very, very good couple of years for that team and for the league in general. So congratulations for the league to be able to pull this off, and congratulations to these San Diego Sockers.
Sockers defeat the Wave 10-3. Sockers are Major Arena Soccer League champions. I want to say thanks to everybody from the MASL front office, from Commissioner Keith Tozer on down, and to all the other broadcasters around the league who have worked all year to make this great sport come to life. They're going to do an interview in-house, but we're going to say goodnight here on the CBS Sports Golazo Network as the Sockers beat the Wave 10-3. We'll talk to you in November or December. We'll see when the schedule comes out in the fall. But until then, for the final time for our wonderful Amoda broadcast crew, for Nick Ferrara and Tony Sanchez, I'm Craig Elston saying so long from Oceanside. The Sockers are champs.